Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Vitor Roque talking on this huge update as it has been claimed that Brazilian club's Atlético Paranense's director opens the door wide for Barcelona target's exit, saying that we are unable to retain him as things stand. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, in this episode, talking on Nico Gonzalez, as manager Javi believed that the 21-year-old midfielder still lacks the maturity to replace Busquets at Barcelona. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Vitor Roque's reputation grows stronger by the day as the Brazilian is one of the most in-demand young strikers in the European market. Whispers of Barcelona's interest in the player spread like wildfire, sparking both hope and anxiety. With a footballing world, Atlético Paranense have already started to predict that they will soon lose their outstanding talents. Roque has one step outside the Brazilian league, with the Catalans leading the race for his long-awaited signature. In an interview with Globe Sport via Sport, Luis Felipe Scolari, technical director of Atlético Paranense, discussed the diamond at his disposal. He said, "I think we will be unable to retain Vitor Roque, but who knows if we can hold him until the end of the year. I think it would be the best for him and for Atlético. There is no defined situation. If he has to be sold, I am of the opinion that he should be sold," the sporting director said. As the Brazilian side begin to accept a potential departure and appear willing to sell their asset for a reasonable price, Roque has minimal obstacles standing in his way. Having monitored the player for a prolonged period and obtaining excellent reports on the player through Deco, the Blaugrana are keen on securing the 18-year-old's signature. Given that Xavi came out to publicly claim a backup striker is on the priority list for Barcelona for the summer, Vitor Roque could be a sensible addition to the ranks. As per report, Barca wants to sign the teenage sensation for 35 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons. His signing is already being taken for granted, and in the event their viability plan falls flat, making him stay at Paranense on loan until January and then registering him is also on the cards. Of course, Barcelona are pushing and continue to push for Vitor Roque, who continue to put in the brilliant performances every day at his club there in Brazil and attracting a handful of top clubs in Europe. Atlético Paranense themselves are saying that their player might likely leave, and I love the honesty of the sporting director that if this guy wants to leave, then the door is open. He will leave because they know that he's a young talent and growing to be a top player one day, and they don't want to stand on his way to achieving his dreams. Vitor Roque have always said it himself that he really wants to succeed as a player, and Barca have been one of the clubs that he have always supported. And coincidentally, Barca have been showing interest in him, and he has said he is ready to play for Barca. And just that statement alone have put Barca on the driving seat when it comes to the pursuit of Vitor Roque, as the player continues to show so much talent. We know that we have good records with Brazilian have been coming to Barca a lot, and majority of them, not all, majority of them have been successful. And I think this guy coming, being a top striker, is a one to watch. This is a new generation that Barca is trying to build. We're trying to get into a new era of young top talents. The likes of Pedri, Gavi, Araujo, Bade, adding this guy there, Vitor Roque. You can see a new generation of Barcelona coming up, while the old guys are gradually fading away. It remains, but now is it Ter Stegen and Sergio Roberto who needs to go? Then you can say okay, the last time we won Champions League, Just two of them are being left in the squad, Roberto and Andres and Ter Stegen, which means we are gradually entering into a new era of this club with young talents with great potential, you know. So let's see how Vitor Roque's move will look like, because Barcelona have been facing a lot of difficulties in signing Vitor Roque. Because other clubs are coming and they are better financially stable than Barca, and you would expect Barca to really go down the pecking order because of money issues, but that has not exactly been the case. Firstly, because the club really, the Barcelona really want the player, and Vitor Roque really wants the club, as opposed to other clubs that have been showing interest. And also Deco, who is soon to be the sporting director of Barcelona, is also closely related to the player, and he's really pushing so hard for the player to join, which means he will have a great helping hand in helping Barca to acquire their top striker target in Vitor Roque. Then moving on to the final story of discussion, Barcelona are scouring the markets for a new pivot midfielder who can replace the departing club captain Sergio Busquets starting next season. However, the Catalans have no luck so far in their efforts to secure a like-for-like top-quality replacement. Martin Zubimendi for Sociedad has been identified as the most ideal candidate to take over from Busquets, but his €60 million release clause and his reluctance to leave La Real have seen a move become impossible. Joshua Kimmich of Bayern is another option, but his signing is also practically ruled out, as the German champions have no desire to sell their prized asset. Amidst this, Sport is reporting that Barcelona Academy graduate Nico Gonzalez could be a cost-free option for the club. However, Xavi and the staff do not see the 21-year-old as a pivot midfielder, nor do they believe he is mature enough to replace Busquets and play the role in the team. A product from the La Masia youth setup, Nico Gonzalez made his first team breakthrough during the 2021-22 season under Ronald Koeman. However, once Xavi took over the reins, the young star found himself being used more as a substitute than as a starter. As a result, Nico left Barca to join Valencia on loan for the 2022-23 season. Despite having had a few injury problems, he did fairly well in the 26 matches that he did played in, scoring and assisting one goal apiece. Nico will be back for Barcelona in pre-season, and as things stand, the Barcelona staff does not see him as an option to replace Busquets as the team's midfield anchorman. Furthermore, with plans to bring in new interior midfielder, the 21-year-old might not even find a place in the first team setup at the club again, opening the door for another loan exit or maybe a permanent departure. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.